Connections for Life. I'm Shrek Pete.
Wow, way to throw me off. I'm Chad Shrek Kuvo for the day. Well, at least for the next 10
Well, what's funny is if you look at both of our screens next to each other right now.
You look like Shrek.
We look like twins.
I'm back.
I'm Joe Sret, and for those that can't see, because that's something else we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
Mr. Kuvo is came in today with his Shrek filter face on. So wonderful. Nice to see you, Chad.
Yeah, I had a beautiful background as well. The swamp.
There's over here.
Oh, the swamp background. I didn't notice that either. All right, let's move on. This is horrible.
Hashtag no filter.
These just keep getting more and more.
Well, now I have more like ammo with the filter thing. There's 10,000. Next week I'll have little hearts under my eyes or something.
You should get the Post Malone tattoos on your face.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, Joe, you said you had something for us here.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, well, it's not really pressure. Last week we talked about Philadelphia Gas Works PGW having 185th anniversary, and I think Chad said that's got to be the oldest. It's not.
I did say that.
Yeah, you did. Actually, it's Baltimore Gas and Electric, so we're going to give them a little pump. They started in 1816 as the Gas Light Company of Baltimore, so they're 205 years old technically. The very first, this is interesting, I thought, the very first like public building to use natural gas was the Belvedere Theater in Baltimore. And they basically started doing gas like service lines, to people's homes in 1851. That still is a long, long time ago. So right now, Baltimore Gas and Electric has 1.2 million electric companies and customers and about 650,000 gas customers. So they've grown a little bit in those 205 years.
205 years is a really long time. The first thing I think of, as ridiculous as it sounds, is how did they detect leaking natural gas then? Because we know essentially that merfactant or the smell wasn't put until I think that the early 1900s or mid like 1930s, I believe.
What'd you call it?
We said merfactant.
Probably not the right thing.
No, you didn't.
Did I say?
You said
merfactant. Did I say merfactant? What did I say?
Definitely.
That's what you said. Yeah, it's all right, buddy.
I wasn't going to call you out though, but.
Oh no, you have to if I did it wrong.
Yeah, it's just an immediate thing. So I wanted to bring that up.
For that. You guys always call me out, so I don't want to do it back to you because maybe.
No, go for it.
To me.
Oh, please do.
I said transportation last week, so it's fine. Let's talk about the expo, huh, Koofs?
Yeah, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it this week, but it is.
All right. Well, that was great.
It was good.
Joe.
No, it's coming up quick next week. We'll open it up next Tuesday, the 16th, and it'll run 16th, 17th, and 18th. One of the things I wanted to highlight today, maybe a little bit more than what we have before, is the roundtable on that Thursday afternoon. You're going to have about 12 to 15 guys on there that are all really corrosion experts in their fields.
Who are they, Chad?
Oh, you're going to make me remember stuff.
Oh, we didn't talk about the weekend, so.
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure.
It'd be like a little test. See if you can run through them.
We have Dave Cutlip from Dominion Energy. We have Vic Magazine from Dominion Energy as well. We have Tom Connor from People's Natural Gas. Tommy Williams from North New England CP. Hang on.
That 4 or 5.
Josh Brewer from IS Field Services. We have Brent Schuler from Columbia Gas. And I've run out.
CM Nelson.
Oh, CM Nelson from I can't remember his company off the top of my head, which I knew I was going to run out eventually. I ran out of CM, so I can't help it. Oh, me? Yeah, I'm not going to talk though.
Frank Rampton.
Oh yes, Mr. Frank Rampton from Trenton as well.
I think that's it, right?
And I think that's it. Yeah.
If we've forgotten anybody, we apologize. It's not our
fault. Sorry, but essentially we have some good topics to get it started. The roundtable, a handful of them, and hopefully you guys, all the people tuning in, will lend some questions to the experts so we can have some roundtable discussion about some good topics.
Yeah, sounds good. That's
awesome.
it. Yeah, we could talk about anything else, but
now tell us who's coming on the show today.
Oh man, I got to do it again. 2 in a row for me.
It's your day, buddy.
So, is that guy on the round table too? I believe he may be. So today we're going to be joined by somebody I've known since I'm literally 21 years old. He kind of brought me into the industry in my first trade show ever in Rhode Island, literally 20 years ago. Don Doubleday, who's retired from National Grid now, has been in the industry for over 35 years, just an icon in New England corrosion, and just a lot of fun. He's always been a lot of fun. For the 20 years I've known him, every interaction I have with him is just a good time, and it's always fun and exciting. I know we spent a lot of time with Don in the last couple of weeks just preparing for the expo stuff and what he's going to present, and we've just had a ball doing it with him. So super excited to welcome Don to the show, and I'll leave that part to you, Ted. Go ahead.
So without further ado.
Wow.
Yeah, I stopped. Yeah.
Thanks.
Welcome to the show, Don. Don, welcome to Connections for Life. Thank you for joining us.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you, Don?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. How's the weather up there in Lowell?
Well, we're in we just get past a 24, a 10, and a 3-inch snowstorm. We're gonna have 60 degrees over the next few days.
So you're gonna have flooding.
Gone.
There's
So
gonna
some
be
quick flooding.
Yes.
So, like that's what I always say about upstate New York. We go from winter to flooding. Like that's our seasonal change. Yeah. Well, we won't carry on too much about the weather, but we'll kind of start where we start everybody out. Don, how did you get your start in the natural gas utility world?
Well, I started in an unusual way. Believe it or not, I was a high school intern. In most gas companies in the utilities, they hire college interns. I went to a vocational high school, did drafting, and the gas company was looking for 2 draftsmen, one to work every other week. So my senior year of high school, I drafted at the gas company. The other week I was in my regular classroom. A vocational high school, your senior year is usually 1 week of shop, 1 week of class, 1 week of shop, your junior year too.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's really neat. So
that was 1978, 1979.
Yeah,
What
because
gas utility?
I was just going to ask that too. That was going to be my next one. What utility was it then?
At the time, it was Lowell Gas Company.
Wow.
We were less than 75,000 customers. The people that owned us were the Putnams. They also owned Cape Cod Gas. So it was actually owned by a family.
Wow.
Family-owned company.
Which I assume is now National Grid.
Which Lowell Gas, Cape Cod Gas became Colonial Gas in 83. Stocks were issued. 99, we were bought by Boston Gas. 2001, Keyspan Energy. 2007, National Grid.
wow.
I remember the last 3. The other ones I don't think I was around for, but I remember Boston Gas to Keyspan, and then Keyspan to National Grid for sure.
And then in 79 to 80 was college. I was going to continue with college because I became a college intern. They offered me a full-time job. I took it. My mom was pissed. My dad, who worked for the city of Lowell for 40 years, said, it's a utility.
Wow.
Go to work.
Go to work.
That's awesome.
Best decision I ever made.
And that was you. So you essentially don't have a college degree like most of us.
I went to school at nights.
Did you?
Again,
Wow,
they paid for my night school.
Oh, I guess you can't argue with that either.
For the next 6 years.
That's wild. So you started out as a draftsman, Don, I would assume. How did you end up in corrosion and doing that for as long as you have done it or did?
Well, the reason why they hired me in 1980 full-time was I was part of a team, the youngest person on the team, to actually take our paper maps, put them into ink and mylar, work with a company out of New York, and we did I was in mapping stuff from 1980 through 92.
Wow.
Then in 92, a corrosion opportunity opened up. I didn't apply for it. I just got tapped on the shoulder. My boss said, I'm moving you over here. Didn't have a choice.
Got voluntold.
Voluntold.
And then you kind of been there since then, huh?
Well, I was a supervisor of corrosion till 95. And then just prior to 1995, I became supervisor of maps and records and corrosion from 92 to 95. Then in 95, Colonial Gas went through a big reorganization process.
Oh.
So I was told you're either going to be manager of mapping or manager of corrosion. I went sit in my butt for 30 years or get out in the field for 30 years. So I chose corrosion.
Wait, which one was
I'm
what
glad
then?
I did.
Wait, which one was which then?
No,
I'm just kidding. I know.
I get out into the field, as you know,
I
I'm in
love it.
corrosion.
I know. I love it.
And then it was around, and so I oversaw corrosion for Cape and Lowell until Boston Gas bought us in '99. But yeah, and then it's just been, living with mergers.
Yeah.
A lot of experience though, because with the Boston Colonial merger, we had to sit down with engineering and combine all of the best practices for our O&M. We did the same thing when Keyspan bought us, except it was with New York people instead of Boston Gas people.
Man, that's a lot of
And then the
growth.
same thing again when National Grid bought us.
Grid, yeah. I
So
know
I was
you've
an
been
expert at,
yeah, I know you've been in the inventory. Sorry,
not
in
the inventory,
industry.
the
You've been
industry.
in inventory for a while.
I'm having a rough day.
Some people have put me on the shelf, but I'm not in
Yeah,
inventory.
we didn't get to that point of the questioning yet. I know you've seen a lot of probably change in your time in the industry, from when you started to where we are today. What do you think some of the biggest changes are since you started? And hold on, now somebody's calling me. Hold on, delete that. Just
Well,
what
some
kind
of the changes, some of
yeah,
the
what
changes over the course of my career are some things that I brought to New England for corrosion control. And
Let's talk about it.
we never had wax tape. So I think if you guys know Andy Booz,
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
he came up to Lowell to my office. I think he was with Chuck.
I would assume
Every
he was.
story has
Everybody was
Chuck
with
in it.
Chuck. Yeah, somewhere Chuck comes into the story every time.
And they brought some boxes of wax tape. We wax tape a bridge, probably an 8-inch pipe, probably 30 feet long. Let it sit there for 2 years, went back 2 years later, cut it all out. From that day forward, we started buying wax tape. So I feel as though I brought wax tape to New England, at least for Colonial Gas, Boston Gas.
That's awesome.
I got rid of mastic.
Years to get that sale.
That's what I was just going to say. That sales cycle is actually kind of short for the industry. 2 years to get something new and approved. Wow, you really expedited that through there, Don.
Yeah.
It usually takes forever.
It's funny because when you
Tritech coated pipe we brought to New England.
Very near and dear to my heart.
I was going to say it's funny because when Andy tells the story, he's the one who brought the wax tape to the New England.
Oh no. Oh, no, he's right.
He just drove it there
upon my request.
I understand. But the Prytech, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, go ahead.
So I mean, so you talked about the Trenton wax tape. I know there's a couple more. What would you call, if you had one of your own crowning achievement in all the time you've been in the industry? What is the thing that you're most proud of? I know you got something.
We've computerized corrosion records.
That's
So I was at the forefront of developing the hierarchy and the electronic field capture of our corrosion records.
wow. That
Like I
has
said,
to be a heck of an
Prytech is a
undertaking.
huge. We went from yellow wrap to Prytech. We went from mastic to wax tape. We went from supposedly we should have gone from I call it manual CAD welding to electronic.
Mhm. So essentially from sparking to the wire.
Yes,
To the bus
without
unit.
naming names.
It's all right.
I don't know where
No, you can say whatever you want. You're fine. You're fine plugging the products. We'd rather people know about them anyways too.
No one
And,
watches this
another
anyway.
thing I'm proud of is the through all of the mergers, if you went back to the 70s and 80s and looked at Essex Gas, Lowell Gas, Cape Cod Gas, Boston Gas, Rhode Island was Providence, Cumberland, Valley Gas, I think Southern something gas. So with all the 12 or 13 gas companies we were in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, there were 30 people in corrosion.
Wow.
Oh,
Well, with all the mergers with merger savings, they downsized. So I was able to manage everything we had with just 11 of us
Wow.
oh wow.
with the use of some contractors, but computerization helped.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
pretty neat.
Yeah.
I can't imagine switching, shirts so often. It's got to be, that many times in your career working for.
The only thing I'm mad at is I never saved all of the business cards.
Oh,
would've
that
been
would be
awesome.
actually kind of
You know
cool.
what? I bet you there's enough people out there that probably still have your card.
Probably still has them.
Oh yeah. When I could get permission to buy some.
Well, I know you spent a lot of time in the industry, specifically in corrosion. it's probably so much different today than it was when you started, and I can't imagine what it's going to look like in another 20 or 30 years. But do you have any ideas or thoughts of what you think the future looks like for us in the industry?
I don't think coatings are going to change. I think what's going to change, and I think what should change, is something I saw in New Orleans at a NACE conference probably 20 years ago, and it died. But at some point, we're going to have to go with smart test stations.
Oh, it did die. You're right.
The other thing, I did was go to remote monitoring. So
Which
at least
helps.
we can do that with the rectifiers. I tested it on some test stations and it worked. I know it's a huge expense, but I think remote monitoring of all test locations would be awesome. Because, downtown Boston, downtown Providence, trying to find where the riser is not easy.
No, it's got to be. Wow. No, but that's a really, really interesting thought, because it did die. I remember when it started to come out and people were starting to use it just a little bit, tinker with it, and they were like, "Look, we're never going to have to go. We're never going to have to send a tech out to take a reading."
At that NACE conference in New Orleans, they actually we jumped into a vehicle, 2 or 3 people from the vendor, and they drove around the conference center, and they had, and we just drove over test stations.
Do you remember who that was, Don, the vendor? Who was that at that time?
I can't remember.
I can't either.
But I think Blake Foraker might have been involved with that.
Do you think?
Man, that name hasn't come up in a long time for me.
Do you guys think that it didn't take off because it just wasn't required? Like, I mean, I know a lot of times like new technology comes out and people don't adapt it because it costs money. And if it's not a requirement, why do it? Right? Until we're actually required to do it, why would we? Do you think that's why it stalled, or was there some other reason?
I don't know why it stalled. I mean, the companies have spent tons of money on automated meter reading. What's the difference?
There's absolutely no difference. Literally.
Because that's how they get paid.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Wow, that is wild. So Don, I before we wrap it up with you, I had one more question. What are you doing in your sort of retirement stage, or whatever you call it?
If you ask my wife, she says you're not retired. But if you ask me, I am retired. So I retired from what was National Grid 4 years ago. Be 4 years this July.
Wow.
39 years I was there. 56 years old at the time.
When you get the job out of high school, I'm just saying.
Yeah. And now I'm and if somebody's here from National Grid and they're listening to this, well, listen. I tried to stay, but I was the dinosaur, and they didn't want to pay me to stay. They want to pay the value I was worth. Because not only was I, bringing new technology and trying to change things internally, I was involved with NACE, the Northeast Corrosion, our MCOC committee. So I teach for the NGA school. I do all kinds of training.
I know you spent a ton of time lately with doing some stuff for NGA, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
So now I've been tasked a year ago by NGA to help them write new hands-on OQs. So I'm writing their corrosion hands-on OQs.
You're probably busier now than you were before.
I'm busier, but I feel as though that my talents and my experience are appreciated now that I'm outside the company.
It's kind of
all
wild,
directed
isn't it?
at Adam. Is this all directed
It's all
at Adam? I feel like
directed
this
at
is
the single
directed at
guy,
Adam.
isn't it?
No, I'm
I know, we
mentoring
know.
Adam. He sees me for the value I am, and he's asking me for his help, and I'm helping him.
Speaking
So I'm a hands-on qualifier for the Northeast Gas, so I qualify people. A corrosion guy, I'm qualifying people in plastic. I love it.
Man of many hats, right?
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm
Speaking
also
of
a consultant for National Grid. The training center has me coming down there frequently to help them in the training. So I have more requests to do stuff now that I'm retired than when I was working.
I like that.
I feel as though I'm
Don.
contributing more to the industry. Only because when I'm qualifying somebody, this is what gets me excited now that I'm retired, is when I'm doing hands-on qualifications for NGA and somebody's putting together a bolted dresser coupling. And after everything is nice and tight and they soap test it, they say, oh, then I'll cathodically protect it. So I am taking one person at a time through my career, and I've probably qualified 700 or 800 people in the last few years.
Wow.
I'll ask them, what do you mean by cathodic protection? Well, I'll wax tape it. All right, that's fine. Do you always use primer? Well, I said, don't lie to me. Just let me know. If you don't do it, you don't do it. So now I'm, do you know why we need to bury the animal below the pipe?
That's awesome.
So now I'm educating one person at a time, and I love it because
And
I
I
could
think
never
that
do
I
it.
think the industry, Don, has gotten away from that a little bit as far as the story being told in the training and the qualification. I think it's so important, and I think it makes people
Agreed.
remember things a
The
lot
industry
easier.
has lost passion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Do you have any other trainings coming up you're doing? Huh?
Well, I
Do you
missed
have any
that.
other trainings? That was a,
Oh,
that
I
was a
do have.
shameless
I
plug.
am a participant in your upcoming UPSCO Corrosion Expo.
You also had around 95 people waiting to hear you talk next week already.
Wow.
So we're hoping we hit 150.
That's
It's pretty
95
popular.
to that's half of what should be on.
I
So,
agree.
it's,
They're
so
gonna
what
miss
you're
a
saying
great
is it's 90
presentation.
of your closest family members.
Well, for those that are listening or will eventually see this, if you have an atmospheric corrosion program on inspecting services, you might want to tune in because I'm going to throw a lot of curveballs and question, what are we doing? Who's looking
it,
at
Don.
this stuff?
I love it.
I mean, before, again, like Chad said, before we let you go, I know you get your time is precious. You got a lot going on. I just want to say thank you.
Oh, no, thank you.
We couldn't do this expo and put all of this stuff together without people like you and your support. It's one thing to create the platform, but it's another thing to create the education and the content, and it wouldn't even be possible without you and all the other presenters. So we just want to say thank you. I mean, it's been a lot of work on our part, but I know it's a lot of time and energy from your end. So we really do appreciate it, and the
Yep.
shameless plug that I kind of walked you into, but hey, what are you gonna do? But
Yes.
that's about it. I mean, we could probably bombard you with questions forever. I know that talking to you always can go a long time because you got such cool stories. But we'll save those.
Oh,
I'm going to make you tell one story that I know that I remember from when I'm 20. It's going to happen after we end the recording.
Oh, okay. All right.
the one at the gas op school.
Oh, no. It has to do with you traveling to Cape Cod at night.
Everybody's got one. Not everybody tells it.
That's why we'll leave that for after the taping. But Don, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Don.
See you next week.
Thanks, Don. Don, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you coming on the show.
It's awesome to have Don on. Always awesome to talk to Don. Always a lot of fun. Always a good time. Joe, anything you want to add on the interview portion side?
I just think it's cool to talk to somebody that's been in the industry for a long time. Just the stories I know in like pre-calls and talking to Don beforehand, just the things that he was involved with and the things that are still being utilized in the industry because of his existence is just pretty wild. So thanks, Don. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for your inclusion in the expo and your help with all that. And we'll talk to you in a week or two.
Speaking of the expo, what did
we wanted to hit on the front side. We're in remiss. We missed did I just say that right? I just said remiss. I'm sorry. Wow. Another Monday for me. But we missed Chris McKinley.
It's a good thing
on the
nobody
round
pays
table.
to watch this.
True. That's a very good point. But we missed Chris McKinley from Southern Cathodic Protection. He'll also be on the round table with us on the front side. And lastly, because I'm a terrible
advertiser.
Yeah, I'm just bad at it apparently. You need to go to upscoexpo.com to register for the classes. You can register for each class individually. You don't have to register for all of them at one time. So it's held on the Zoom webinar platform. But that's all I wanted to add from the front side that we missed.
Okay. Well, I got a little industry update. So UGI Utilities has signed their first agreement to bring significant renewable gas supplies into their system. That essentially they're going to be taking the renewable natural gas from the Dunmore, PA landfill, and they're going to be injecting it into their high pressure natural gas pipeline system. It's going to, when fully operational, the UGI utility system will be designed to take up to 16,000 MCF at a rate of 780 MCF per hour, making it the largest renewable gas supply point in the United States today.
Wow.
Did they say when that's going to occur?
What?
Did they say, like, it says when it's fully operational?
It said they signed the agreement on February 17th, and they're going to begin construction of it. So
yeah, because I assume there's probably going to be a cut. There has to be a few mile pipeline to somewhere to meet that, to meet the actual transmission line, I'd assume. So maybe we can operational
by September. 2021.
Wow. Ooh,
Wow.
that's aggressive.
Yeah.
That's how
Want
we
to
do
bet
it.
on
Aggression. No, I don't want to bet on anything we do.
it?
I did that last time my Cowboys quarterback broke his
I
ankle.
want to bet on it.
Sorry, I'm looking for extra coin over here.
Joe, you know what time it is?
I know what time it is.
What time is it, Chad?
Like 10:30
Time
in
for
the
me to-
morning.
What time is it? It's 10:37 actually.
10:34 on my computer. Yes.
None of our computers are right on time, actually, which is the funniest part. It took Joe 6 months to realize he was 5 minutes behind.
Now I'm 10.
Gas fact.
All right, this isn't really much. This is kind of a weird one. This isn't
We gotta
gas
get
facts.
for this intro.
This is a gas quiz.
Oh,
So-
I like that.
I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. There's going to be multiple choice, so just bear with me.
B.
So to provide 1,000 households with electricity for 1 year, how many acres of land are needed to operate a power plant fueled by natural gas? A, 0.4 acres, B, 2 acres, C, 6 acres, or D, 15 acres?
A.
Did you say one household, Joe?
1,000 households.
Oh,
I can't even
1,000.
remember the question.
It's a lot for me.
What are the numbers again? 0.4.
0.4, 2, 6, and 15.
I got to go 0.26.
No, it's
No,
2.
0.4, 2, 6, or 15.
It's 0.4 then.
This
I'm
is
going- I'm going
impossible.
A. Yeah. A.
What'd you say?
A.
Ken?
Hey,
A is correct. Good job, boys.
Yeah.
All right. Which of the following causes the most bird deaths? Wind turbines, house cats, pesticides, or high tension wires?
house cats. It's a funny one.
I am gonna say wind turbines.
I gotta go high wire, like wires.
The answer is house cats.
No,
I
it
just
isn't.
yeah, I just threw
Come
that one in.
on.
I just threw that one in there just to mess with you guys.
Come on. I thought that was even funnier.
They kill 1.4 to 3.7 billion birds a year. Just
Oh my word.
yeah.
Are they counting the tigers that take people out in like Bangladesh?
Wow.
I don't know. It just says
That's a lot of birds.
all right. Let's see here. Here's a good one. How many pounds of CO2 are put into the air for every gallon of gasoline used in an average car? 5 ounces, 2 pounds, 10 pounds, or 20 pounds?
20.
5.
20.
Wow. Really? 20 pounds?
Chad, I dominated you today.
It's fine. I'm not really concerned.
I'm so competitive.
All right, another one
Not.
here. True or false? Premium gasoline contains more energy per gallon than regular gasoline.
Oh, that's a good question. I would assume yes, but that
I'm
would
gonna go
be-
false just because I want
I
to.
went yes.
It's false.
I am one serious loser today.
All right.
Ron right now.
We got 2 more. What U.S. state mines the most coal? Wyoming, Kentucky, West Virginia, or Ohio?
It's West Virginia.
West
Got
Virginia.
it.
Wyoming.
What?
What?
I'm shocked. That I'm shocked about.
This is based on some old data, so I mean
That's okay, but still, just the fact I didn't even know Wyoming had coal.
So just to give you an idea, Wyoming accounts for 39% of U.S. coal production. West Virginia only is second at 9%. So I mean, even if they close the gap a little bit,
39%.
Gotta be the size of the states, though. Think about it. Like West Virginia's tiny. They have a lot of it, but like,
Texas is a huge state. They don't have a lot of coal.
yeah, but I'm saying like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm blown away. I mean, and it's gonna lead me down a path sometime within the next 24 hours of trying to figure out if they do more strip mining there, if they do traditional mining or something else, because I can't imagine. I've never heard of Wyoming as a coal producing state.
All right, this is the last one. For each degree you lower your temperature in your home, how much can you reduce your winter heating bills? 3%, 5%, 7%, or 10%?
What was the beginning? How many?
For each degree that you lower the temperature in your home, so if it's at 70 and you drop it to 69, how much can you reduce your winter heating bills? What percentage? 3%, 5%, 7%, or 10%?
I think it's 5.
10.
It's 3%.
That's disappointing.
Not really. If you go
I was
5,
going to say we could take our
5
average, but
degrees,
it
that's
wasn't right.
15%. I mean, think about it like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That's
you guys,
Joe's house is at 61 degrees year
If he
round.
goes down anymore, his
60.
pipes are going to freeze.
60 degrees. Get a sweater.
And a sweater.
So that's it, boys. I just wanted to throw some different
That was a
rants.
fun one, Joe. I like that one a lot, actually.
I think we should have done this in the beginning portion of the show so somebody watched it.
I think
Yeah,
that was fun.
There's only one other thing I want to talk about, and then we can let these fine people get back to their lives, which like they haven't already. We decided after 48 episodes, I think this is 48 episodes, to move our platform over to a podcast version as well. So please keep an eye out for that. That way you don't have to look at our ugly faces while you're watching it. You can just listen. We're going to probably have to change a little bit of the format of this to be able to facilitate that. But if you guys wouldn't mind joining or checking us out that way you can listen in your car or when you're running or at the gym. So I know that we're that popular. But
thanks for giving all the followers that option, Joe.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it.
Those are the only 3 options. But that's it for me, guys. I feel like we probably rambled on as we always do. So
it's okay. That one was fun.
I had a good time today. This was
a good one.
So
are you trying to say you don't have a good time Mother Day?
Yeah.
I didn't say that at all.
It took 47.
I say that the opposite.
I finally had a good time. The 48th episode or 47th.
Oh shoot! You sound like my wife. I'm like, honey, I had a good time tonight. Are you saying you didn't have a good time? No, I didn't say that at all. I said I had a good time.
So I don't say anything.
All right.
All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us. Remember to click like, subscribe, share. I'll pay you if you give a comment.
A nickel to everyone.
I'm about to. How much you paying? Because I'll just start making fake names on the internet.
I'll give $5 to the first 10 people who comment on this video, and they can't be related to Chad Kuvo or Joe Surratt or Ted Pete.
Can it be us?
No. No.
You're gonna get $5. All right, that's cool.
10 people.
So, if anybody's listening,
when this episode posts, I'm posting it on there.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I will bet you $20 that you get nobody to reply regarding that topic.
I'm not betting you ever again. Last time I did, my quarterback broke his ankle.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get. It's like
I came out of the skin and everything. The guy might not. He almost lost his leg. I'm not.
I thought you might want to hedge your bet. I don't know.
No, I can't risk his knee.
Don't want nothing.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. I look forward to the header on this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny.